Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the Miami Dolphins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They go play action here on first down. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely would like to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always want improvement, don't they?
They certainly do.
From the gun on third down, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
former second-round pick. This is Joe Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. He hits White, complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Open man is Golladay, complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Let's go. Green 30.
Now back to throw. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this 1st drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Mixon with a 1st down carry. About 3 yards there to the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw now on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here's a run with Mixon. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. Mixon trying to punch it in, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week, 19 carries, 56 yards.
And that explosive run right there reminds me that last week ran the ball really well, so they're continuing to do what they did in the previous game, run the ball and run it successfully. Expect that to continue throughout this one.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. From the gun, here's Newton. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook. but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up a third down. Out of the gun, Newton. It's caught. Jones. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You feel okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissue. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Throwing on third down, Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because...
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Here's Carson. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Now Joe Mixon. And he spins through. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's man. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
They'll look to throw here to Mixon on the check down. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. To throw on second down is Newton. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this is hauled in by Matthews. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. Newton throwing again. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To the air again, Newton. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. Walford's got it. Complete.
They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to air one out. And this is caught at the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the
Still
jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And this a 39-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side, taken in by Golladay. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, Something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open. That makes things tougher.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Here's Newton now on second down. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Now let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw now on first down. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Julio Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful not being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. Rumbling past the 30. And he comes back with one complete. And all the way up to the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be a second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on third down. Newton. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A handoff to Mixon. Room to run past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to Mixon on first down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Jerry Hughes in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Looking to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Elsewhere around the NFL, third quarter now in Los Angeles. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
That's it. 180.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, here's Newton. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 19. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They give him a gain of 37. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now Newton on 1st down. He's going to air it out deep for Matthews. And this is caught. A big play there for Carolina. 51 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can...
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Newton. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now it's Newton. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Ryan Shazier leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll drop to throw. It's caught. This is White. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Off the toss, Cohen. Room to run inside the 40. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 25 yards the pick up there, and also a first down.
And that's a good run, and I know he went out of bounds, so we could nitpick a little bit here and get on him and say, hey, make sure you stay in bounds, keep the clock running. But this stage of the game, Brandon, that's not really uppermost in his mind. He just wants to take care of the football and gain yardage.
Yeah, and they have a little bit of comfort there with it not just being a one-score game, so not too nitpicky. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And the pitch goes to Mixon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Rolling to it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. Under pressure, they got him again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Newton. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Newton. Out to his under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Ryan Shazier in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 3rd down, that's Carson, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as he'll go for it on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Jordan Matthews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up there. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Prater for the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 24-10. So this drive spans 7 plays, and Carolina scores to cap it off. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Panthers coming out now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Out of the gun, Newton. Caught left side by Funchess. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down. They go play action here on first down. It's caught by Funchess. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now a first down throw for Newton. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. He was looking for Matthews that time. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10. Looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. A big play there for the Dolphins. And even 40 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
from the red zone now. They'll look to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road. Bam.